Good morning, this is Deepak. How are you? So today is Friday, April 13th, I believe, but don't take my word for it. I lose track of time a lot of the times. Today I'm going to answer a question that has come from many people, but right now it's precipitated by a question on discoveringyourcosmicself.com from a reader of the new book, You Are the Universe. And so the reader is Hydrades, Hydraides. Hi Deepak, I would be very interested to hear your own personal experience of higher consciousness. How does it manifest for you? For me personally, I experience higher consciousness as having sparkling eyes and a feeling of pure joy. Sparkling eyes and a feeling of pure joy. Also, I have the ability to somehow make trees hundreds of meters away sway just by directing my consciousness in that direction. Wow, congratulations, Hydrades. Higher consciousness also manifests for me sometimes as rushes of wind which are powerful enough to blow physical objects over, such as bins, plastic, chairs, etc. What are your thoughts on this? Have you experienced similar things or seen other people accessing higher dimensions of consciousness? So first of all, Hydrades, thank you for that very interesting question. I've usually not shared my experiences with people at large. I've shied away from that. But today your question kind of precipitated my desire to give an answer and also to actually answer this question for many people, since they keep asking me the same thing. Your experiences are very dramatic and could be a manifestation of non-local, signal-less sharing of experience with the objects of your experience. So congratulations, and I hope that you feel somewhat validated, because your experiences can be understood, and I also know many other people who are having similar experiences. For my own self, let me share some of the things that I have experienced as a result of 40 years of spiritual practice, focus on self-awareness, focus on contemplative self-inquiry, focus on transcendence, and focus on a deeper understanding of my own self. So I'll share with you what I'm experiencing. However, before I do that, I should say that whatever I say in these conversations here about things like this comes from both understanding and experience. Otherwise, I would not be sharing. Okay, so it does come from a deep understanding and also from experience as a result of a very daily practice that I have. I meditate every day. I practice self-awareness, transcendence, reflective self-inquiry. I have a daily practice of yoga as well, and also a daily practice of breathing exercises or pranayama, and here are my own experiences that I want to share with you. So first of all, the dramatic experiences you have are not something that I experience every day. I may have experienced variations of those dramatic experiences now and then, variations. As for having a smile on my face and sparkling eyes, again, that's for other people to evaluate. I wouldn't know, and I would not comment on that. So here is my experience. Over the years, very gradually, like a fruit ripening on a tree, I have become stress-free. So at this moment, I have no stresses in my life. I feel a great degree of love as an aspect of my inner nature. Even though I feel this love greatest for my family and friends, I feel it actually also non-specifically for the whole world. So I definitely have shifted my emotions quite dramatically, naturally, in the direction of love, compassion, joy, empathy. And I speak about this because it's a facet of love that has evolved over time, a love that is not necessarily focused on anyone, but a love that is also not denied to anyone. And also, as I mentioned, my life is completely stress-free at the moment and has been for a while. So that's number one. I've noticed a shift in my emotions. The second thing I can also say that I have also had a shift in my sense of self. I realized intellectually a while ago that I was not a person, that that which I call my person, this body-mind, is an evolving process in consciousness, in awareness. That there is no such thing permanently as a person, so I too am not a person. I'm an activity that can be called body-mind that is happening in awareness, and my true self is the witnessing awareness, and I identify with that. My true self is a witnessing awareness, and I identify with that. As a result, I have also learned to become a spectator or a silent witness of my thoughts, of my emotions, of my perceptions, of my relationships, and of the world in general. So the silent witnessing awareness is not a stand I take willfully, but it is coming to me more and more naturally. This is also happening in my sleep and dream states, so I'm able to witness and experience that silent witnessing awareness as my true identity, even in deep sleep and also in the dream state. As a result, I've become very conscious of the fact that our waking state is also a kind of dream state, because there's no real time lag between past, present, and future, not even a nanosecond. I have begun to look upon the waking state as a dream state, and me, the awareness in which all that is happening in every moment of time, the arising and subsiding of experience in every moment of time. So this has resulted, in a sense, my disengaging from melodrama, which I see a lot in the world, although I get dragged into it. I have been dragged into it in social media once in a while, also dragged into it on television when people ask me about the elections and the current administration in the United States or the state of the world. I do get dragged into that sometimes, and then later I might regret. So that thing is still there, the engagement in a kind of a personal way in the melodrama of the world, but it's less and less. And I am trying to, I should say, shift into that state where I can still participate in the creating of a more peaceful, just, sustainable, healthier and happier world without getting engaged in it from an ego point of view. And, that is still a little bit of a challenge, because whenever one is defensive or whenever one is mean-spirited or critical of other people, then it's obvious that the ego is surfacing. So I have to focus on that a little bit. But less and less am I engaging in that, and I don't feel the need to do it. I think we can bring light into the world without fighting the darkness, which is meaningless anyway. So less and less am I engaging in that. So I've talked about where my emotions have shifted. I've talked about my sense of self. I've talked about the understanding that experience is dreamlike, but it can also suck you in and take you away from your internal reference point, which is your being, which is your silent witnessing awareness. The third thing I want to talk about is my experience of my perceptions. I stated right now that I look at the world and see that it has a dreamlike quality, but I also actually have a richness of experience in terms of vividness of experience. I feel that colors and tastes and smells and sounds and textures and forms are very rich. So I feel, in a way, a sensual experience and a sensual relationship with what I call the universe, the world in general. I have a feeling that we are all part of a very sensual, rich, colorful world of experience, even though the experience is passing moment by moment and therefore dreamlike. So what has happened to me as a result of that even in my dreams, when I have that witnessing awareness, the dreams are very rich. I can summon forth very frequently the dream characters that I wish to engage with. So I frequently invite my deceased parents to show up in my dreams, and they appear very vividly, and I engage in conversations with them with great clarity. And when I wake up, I remember those conversations, and I feel very good. I summon forth many, I shouldn't say summon forth, I invite many people into my dream world, both the dream world that I experience at night and also the dream world that I experience during the day. They have a similar quality of vividness, but also a wakefulness of the presence, the spirit in which all that is happening. These days I particularly enjoy my conversations with my parents in the dream world at night, although they frequently come to me in the dream world of the waking state as well. Okay, so I spoke about emotions and my sense of self and my perceptions. I did also say that there is something that's very subtle but very acute at the same time for me, and one of them is this whole realm of memory. So while I can retrieve any memory I want, I don't feel victimized by the memory. So I feel less and less caught up in the web of karma. And I'm saying this very honestly. So I use memories, as the phrase goes and the teaching goes, but I'm not used by memories or victimized by memories. Very slowly also I'm realizing that when one is very dogmatic about anything, whether it's scientific or philosophical or a point of view, then that is actually taking us away from ourselves. So I'm less defensive about my dream state certainties, slowly losing my habitual certainties. I feel my intentions are very powerful. That's why I'm here, I'm engaging with you and millions of others. I have more trust in my non-local self. I have no experience of fear, including the fear of death, because I'm grounded more and more in my own timeless being. I have a very healthy body. I don't take any medications. I have a lot of love and compassion. My mind is clear, and I feel some kind of lightness of being all the time. So, those statements I frequently use to encourage others: joyful, energetic body, loving, compassionate heart, reflective, alert mind, lightness of being. These are very intimate experiences for me, and that's why I share them with others, so they too can look forward to having those experiences. Also, I really feel more and more that one should not look to a point of arrival, even though spirituality flowers and blossoms in its own time like a fruit, and one day the fruit falls, and that can be very dramatic. I can say that at this moment I'm feeling less and less desire to be at a certain point in arrival, to have this need to be saying, I have arrived, because I think wherever you are is the point of arrival at the moment. Okay, so those are my personal experiences, and thanks to Hydrades, I'm able to share them. I can say with deep conviction that I'm certain that our true self is beyond birth and death. I can say this with deep conviction because now I can understand what true faith is, which is the certainty of the invisible, without which there is no experience of the visible. And that invisible is our own witnessing awareness. So I'm not only intellectually convinced of it, I'm experientially convinced that our true being is timeless and beyond birth and death. So I hope that actually this is enough as an answer to the question. I actually, in a way, I'm very impressed by your dramatic experiences, and I congratulate you. I am not envious of you. I think I've had, as I said, variations of those experiences time and again, but at this moment not feeling any attachment for those. So today is Good Friday, and soon it'll be Easter Sunday. Time to reflect on death and resurrection in every moment of now. If you want to create a new world, and a new experience of the world, then we have to step out of the memory of conditioning and see the world as if for the first time. So do that today. Start to let go of the old, as has been said, let the dead bury the dead, let the past go, bury it, and awaken to a new reality. This is my wish for all of you today, and let us do that. Let us all strive to step out of the memory of conditioning and reactive responses that would be similar to acting like a biological robot, and see us as aware, divine, creative beings. All of us. Okay. I see a lot of responses. I thank you all for sharing this with each other, and also for sharing the material with each other on You Are the Universe, and for engaging in this conversation right here on discovering your cosmic self.com, the website where I receive all these questions from you. Happy weekend.